Please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Infosys co-founder and former CEO Nandan Nilekani expected to be brought back to head the tech major Infosys. Clarity on Nandan's role expected in the next 48 hours, and that's a CNBC TV-18 exclusive.
No, the Prime Minister will take a decision on whatever request the Railway Minister has made.
Railway Minister Suresh Prabhu takes moral responsibility of recent accidents, offers his resignation to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. PM asks him to wait, and Network 18 learns a cabinet reshuffle is likely soon. CNBC TV-18's exclusive news break confirmed Air India's CMD Ashwani Lohani appointed as the new chairman of Railway Board.
The decision regarding creating strong and competitive banks would be solely based on commercial considerations.
Cabinet gives in principle nod for merger of PSU banks. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley says that any PSB except SBI can come up with a merger proposal. Dalal Street shrugs away its blues as bank stocks rally almost 1.5%. The Nifty recaptures 9,850 levels, while the Sensex rallies 270 points. Mid-caps too gain over 1% in trade.
Unless you have enough of a margin to show me that you have the ability to withstand downturns, to be able to modernize as needs be, it becomes very difficult for us to give our all-out support.
SBI Chief Arundhati Bhattacharya hits out at the steel sector, says that the margins in the sector are very thin, adds that there is some lack of transparency in data provided by steel companies to the lenders. Malegaon blast accused Lieutenant Colonel Purohit walks out on bail after 9 years in jail. Sources tell Network 18 that he is likely to rejoin the army and be posted in Pune or Kolaba. So those were the top headlines that we are tracking this evening. You're watching CNBC TV-18. I'm Nisha Poddar, and the show is called Reporter's Diary. Let's take it straight to the top story we are tracking this evening. The broader tussle between the Infosys board and the founders that exacerbated really post the resignation of Vishal Sikka last Friday continues to remain our top focus this Wednesday evening. And over the last 12 hours, there have been 3 crucial developments. Let us quickly take you through all of them. First, late last night, CNBC TV-18 broke the news that several leading institutional investors have written to the board asking for Nandan Nilekani to be appointed as a director on the board of Infosys. Now, the investors wrote, and I quote, "In our opinion, he enjoys the confidence of various stakeholders such as customers, shareholders, and employees. Given his credentials, we feel that his joining the board at this stage will restore confidence of the stakeholders in the company and also facilitate resolution of the contentious issue that Infosys is facing presently." End quote. So that's coming in from the letter. The second big development on this issue, Infosys co-founder N.R. Narayan Murthy was supposed to address investors today for the first time post Vishal Sikka's resignation from the post of managing director and CEO. Now remember that both the Infosys board and Sikka cited Murthy's constant bickering and allegations as the reason behind the drastic decision. But earlier today, Murthy rescheduled this particular press conference or the con call to the 29th of August, citing health reasons. And the big exclusive news break that we are getting you this today and broken this morning. CNBC TV-18 learns from sources that Nandan Nilekani is likely to be brought into head Infosys for now. Shirin Bhan joins us with exclusive news break. Shirin, good to have you on the show. By when can we expect a final announcement, and is it also the pressure coming in from the domestic institutional investors?
But I think there's pressure coming in from a lot of quarters on trying to de-escalate the crisis at Infosys. Now, here's what we do know, and this is source-based information as I have been caveating through the day. We have tried to reach out to all of the stakeholders, Nandan Nilekani, N.R. Narayanamurthy, R. Seshasai, as well as Ravi Venkatesan for a comment, but so far we have not received a response. What I am given to understand is that the thinking at this point in time is that you need somebody of the stature of Nandan Nilekani, with his authority, with his understanding of this business as well as this company, to try and steer the ship through the troubled waters. What capacity he will be brought in is not clear at this point in time. We are still awaiting more details on that. Will this be an interim solution? Will this be a longer lasting solution? Again, that is what we need clarity on. I am given to understand that perhaps over the next 24 to 48 hours, there could be some decisions that will be taken which give us more clarity on the role that Nandan Nilekani can play. This is perhaps also one of the reasons why the investor call that N.R. Narayanamurthy was to hold this evening has been called off. Of course, the official reason is health reasons, but we are given to believe that this is linked to the developments that we are talking about. There have been many twists and turns in this story, so it's not a done deal till it's actually done, but this is the broad thinking at this point in time. Now, with Nandan coming in, larger issue of what happens to the board. Will the board be reconstituted? What happens to R. Seshasai, the current chairman of the board? What happens to the co-chairman, Ravi Venkatesan? Do they continue? There has been a clamor from former Infosians like Mohandas Pai and V. Balakrishnan saying that the board itself needs to be reconstituted. So I think these are going to be issues that will need to be deliberated upon. But I think all sides have realized that the need of the hour at this point in time is a de-escalation, and to get somebody on board who is a bridge to the past as well as able to take the old and the new forward together. This will certainly go down well as far as investors are concerned. As we've noticed, the domestic institutional investors have written to the Infosys board specifically asking for Nandan Nilekani to be brought back as director. But as I said, it's not done till it's done. This is the broad thinking at this point.
Core issue at Infosys today is the governance issue, the failure of the board, and the resultant destruction of shareholders' value. So I think a person like Nandan coming as chairman of the board and stabilizing the ship will give comfort to all the stakeholders, whether it's employees, investors, or clients. Because Nandan is a very good global face. He is well recognized both in India and outside India. He is part of Aadhaar, which is a large, complex project implementation in the government of India. And he had a great strength earlier in Infosys. So I think a face like him coming to the Infi board will stabilize the whole ship.
On to another big development of the day, and after 3 train tragedies in less than a week, Railway Minister Suresh Prabhu has offered to resign from his post. In a series of tweets today, Prabhu said, and I quote, "In less than 3 years as minister, I have devoted my blood and sweat for the betterment of the railways." Under leadership of Prime Minister, tried to overcome decades of neglect through systemic reforms in all areas, leading to unprecedented investment and milestones. Now, the Railway Minister also said, and I quote again, "New India envisioned by Prime Minister deserves a railways which is efficient and modern. I promise that is the path on which railways is progressing now." End quote. However, Prabhu went on to add, and I quote, "I am extremely pained by the unfortunate accidents, injuries to the passengers and loss of precious lives. It has caused me deep anguish." I met the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking full moral responsibility, and Honorable Prime Minister has asked me to wait. End quote.
The basic foundation of the railway has been shaken up. We need to concentrate on basics. We need to reinforce the very foundation of the railway. So given a proper direction and leadership, Railway still can turn around. The entire railway staff and the board is totally demoralized because I have nothing against any individual, but you can't disturb the system.
Pattern of financing the railways is not really sustainable. We also know that there is a great deal of corruption and a great deal of, and yet the railways work seamlessly. And frankly, it's a mystery to many of us how it continues to work the way it does. So it's a very, very complex ministry.
Yeah.
And I think it needs to be looked at with really fresh eyes.
Now, the Railway Ministry has appointed Ashwini Lohani as the new chairman of the Railway Board after A.K. Mittal resigned following the recent derailments of the Kaifiat Express in Uttar Pradesh. Now, Lohani has been serving as the chairman and managing director of Air India. Prior to his stint with Air India, Lohani was working as the chief administrative officer of the Indian Railways Organization for Alternate Fuels. Now, a subordinate organization of the Railway Board is what he was connected with. And Suresh Prabhu's offer to resign comes around the buzz of a possible cabinet reshuffle as well. It is speculated widely that the reshuffle will take place within the next week and important portfolios will be reassigned. Now, the finance and defense ministries are unlikely to remain with only one person, and the youngsters may be given more portfolios than before. Many states may also see new governors as part of this big rejig by the government.
No one really knows the mind of the Prime Minister. We are hearing that the reshuffle may be on the 28th or 29th of this month. We are expecting that the Janata Dal United will probably join the government. We are hearing that Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj may have been given charge of monitoring most central projects, the progress of most central projects. What does that tell us? That tells us that she may even be on her way to being elevated to something which is equivalent to, I don't know, a deputy prime minister maybe. Of course, it will be a big reshuffle because, you know, the people involved are there are important portfolios which have to be allocated.
All right, so those are the mega changes expected. With that, we'll slip into a short breather. Coming up on the other side.
The decision regarding creating strong and competitive banks would be solely based on commercial considerations.
Cabinet has given an in-principle nod for merger of PSU banks. Details when we return on the other side.